O- Okay, it's a little different now. We're live on air now, and
Alright.
hello everybody. We're Nerds on the Couch. We're back after a long hiatus, and we got some exciting stuff to talk about. Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
All right,
Go
we'll
ahead,
begin.
Hunter.
All right, I'm Hunter Knight. Most people know me for Hunter Knight Customs. I'm the guy who does makes those custom action figures.
Awesome. Hey, and you remember me, Shimon, Mr. Cosplayer, Mr. This,
Yeah.
Mr. That. Let's have some fun tonight.
Well, before we talk about the New York Comic Con, I got to point out, man, if you haven't seen Sherman on his Facebook page, you're one of the few people who is cosplaying as Aquaman, and you're awesome. That was an awesome Aquaman costume you did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Took a while, and we're going to do it again. We have actually MegaCon coming up because MegaCon has actually opened up what it's been doing. You know, they've got MegaCon Orlando. Now they've got MegaCon Tampa. And we're going to go to MegaCon Tampa. And at the same time that evening, we're going to go hang out with some kids down at the Mosi Science Center across from USF. So it's going to be a real exciting day.
I just realized you two are in Florida, right?
Oh, really? Well, yeah, I'm in Florida. Yeah, I'm in the South Florida part, like Miami,
Okay.
Broward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
but
up in Central
convention-
Florida.
Oh, really? That's cool. That's cool. The convention circuit down here is getting big, right? Like the last time I
Yeah.
went to a convention, it was in 2007. Last time I went to a convention in South Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, I did this summer. I saw quite a bit. Saw quite a bit happening, and the amount of people cosplaying and the talent that was coming out, you know, just in the images alone was just, you know, was remarkable. So South Florida has really got it going on.
Well, let me ask you guys this, since both of you are Floridians, or however they see it for you guys. What's the biggest one you guys have over there?
Depends.
Oh man,
Depends. In
I
South
think-
Florida,
yeah,
in South Florida, it's this guy called Mike S. Brother. He is the one that manages all the South Florida conventions, and I believe that Florida SuperCon is the biggest one, and they do it in Miami Beach. So Miami Beach gets, but he has like 3 or 4 more conventions that he owns. So it's getting bigger. I mean, like the first time I went to one of his conventions was in 2007, and the biggest star was Kevin Conroy before the Arkham Games, and it was in a hotel, and now it has exploded completely. Like it's a lot of people. So for South Florida, I guess that one.
yeah, and I would say I really do think that Florida right now is set up in sections. You know, you've got your North Florida, your Central Florida, and then your South Florida, and you know, just because it's such a long state. So I know for a fact that MegaCon Orlando and Tampa Bay Comic Con, I mean they're cranking out numbers and they're going head to head against each other, and I mean it's wild out here.
And it's not friendly. I gotta point out. Unfortunately, it's not friendly between those organized. I've heard stories. Yeah, it's not friendly. It's not like.
Well, from my understanding, that's the whole reason why they're making MegaCon Tampa.
Oh.
So that's coming up at the end of the month, so it's going to be interesting.
You know,
That's
it
right,
breaks my heart to hear that it's not friendly, because
Unfortunately, I gotta say it's not friendly. That's why I avoid going to conventions in South Florida, because if you go to, let's say, SuperCon and you attend whatever con, they're gonna be like, "Oh, why you went there? Oh no, you're not loyal." I'm like, "Bro, it's a convention. I'm allowed to go to any whatever the hell I want." That's why I only go to freaking Comic Con. That's it. You know, San Diego Comic Con. That's it. Everybody loves each other. It's a different thing. But down here, there's like the little, guilds of convention things, and I heard some pretty horrific stories. So yeah.
Well, let me explain. Here and again, this is El Paso. We're kind of a small town. Not really small, but we're a big city with a small town feel. I guess that's our slogan. But we had 3 companies here in El Paso, and at one point they were friendly. Everybody had a booth, and everybody else's. They promoted, and then somehow it became unfriendly, and one quit. And we have now just 2. We have Sun City Comic Con, and then we have the El Paso Comic Con. And people just talk about both of them, and it's just really sad that these companies that really, if you promote it and you do things right and you work for the community,
Exactly.
they could help each other. but unfortunately, they just, I guess it's business. They just compete, and and it's really sad because people like these conventions. They have fun at conventions, and with us is that I go to a convention, I see the same people, I shake the hands, I meet everybody's there, and people are just there for a good time. They're not there to compete, and it's sad.
Exactly.
Well, except the cosplayers, but
Well, I gotta say that this competition, this is not friendly between organizers. Okay,
Yeah.
the fandom is completely friendly for the most part. For what I've seen, it's friendly, but it's the competition goes against the organizers, and they try to. Sometimes that bleeds onto the people that work there. Or I know many comic book stores in the area who don't want to go to any conventions, because they have beef with the organizer. So it's kind I try to avoid those environments because I work in my line of work is to create stuff, and I don't
Right.
like drama.
Yeah.
You have good vibes, and those environments don't help a lot, because otherwise you're gonna be like, oh, it's this and that, oh, you support this and that. No, I support everything and everybody, but if you're gonna start looking for beef, then no, that's not my
Well, we brought up conventions because there's the big one right now, the New York City Comic Con, and wow, there was a lot of news coming out of that one. That right now, I mean, it's Saturday, and we had a lot of previews come out. We had a lot of toys, a lot of information on toys, a lot of which we'll get to. But one I want to hit that kind of blew my mind right now was the Power Rangers trailer. Wow, that actually looks good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was, and then like I was saying, I mean, I wasn't a big Power Rangers fan, but I sat down back in the '90s with my kid, and I would watch that with her, and just to see the transformation that it's taken over the years, and the route that it's taking, and now that you look at it, and it's got a little bit more edgier feel to it, and I think this is something that everybody's going to get behind. Because it's not it's not going back to that little kidsy thing that we used to watch. This is, they're a little bit more grown up now. It's a little bit more real, and especially in the trailer, teen drama.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been keeping up too much with Power Rangers. I mean, I remember Power Rangers from the 90s.
Well, this is no, I understand. So, this one is based on the originals. They have the originals, the first American ones, which I guess to me was the best ones. That's the ones I liked.
The ones with Kimberly, right? Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly, Zach, Trini, But the funny thing is, it's the same people. It has Jason, all these other ones, but they switched their races around. Because this time, again, they like to be multicultural, and that's a good thing. But in the first one, remember, it was a nerdy guy, a nerdy white guy. Now it's the black guy, and
yeah, the black guy's the nerd.
But
Yeah,
then,
well, that's cool. I mean, you don't need to show all the time. I mean, as much as black folk love dancing, we dance in every movie. We don't need to be the dancer, the cool hipster,
well, wasn't it a bit awkward, that the Black Ranger was the black guy, the yellow one was the Asian? They kind of mixed that around. Thank the Lord.
And
they
who
did.
was it that
had a Latino
about it? Was it like a South Park or something that was joking about that?
Yeah, and this time, Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, is a Latino girl.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah, and I do believe the Yellow Ranger is still the Asian girl, but we got to let something slide. But it's still, and yeah, you're right. This time in the trailer, you kind of see like these are like troubled kids. They're like, I guess, like it kind of reminded me a bit like, hey, look, it's a Breakfast Club, if for those kids in the '80s. And
Yeah.
these are kids in detention. They're troubled kids. I guess they're kids I teach, I guess. And and they get called on. They have powers. Now, you don't see them, but you see them transforming. Because at first I remember everybody was making fun that it was like Iron Man costumes, but no, they look like Green Lantern costumes now.
Yeah, those the costumes that they released, right? Like that press release they sent out with they look Iron Man-ish. I think I was like,
They
wow,
do.
yeah.
They
I was like, I thought it was a Marvel thing. I was like, wow, those are cool Stark armors. Then I was like, oh, Power Rangers. Oh, okay, that's progressive, I think.
Yeah, but they kind of showed it in the movie where they don't like slide it on. It becomes like part of their skin. It's like glowing on them and moving and all that. So, I mean, this was just a teaser trailer for it. So, that's the other part that was exciting. And then with the other trailer that came out yesterday, the last Rogue One trailer, and finally they showed Darth Vader.
Yes. And I mean, he had that cool bad guy walking in the wind thing going on with the lightsaber and everything.
I'm so pumped by Rogue One though.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, at the beginning I wasn't. All right, when they released the first, I was like, okay, more okay. But then little by little, I started to warming up. And then I'm like psyched, completely psyched. I even went hunting for like the Rogue One stuff. Yeah, you bet I got my stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
how much did I go hunting? Yeah, this is the only guy I bought so far. I bought a Stormtrooper. I like Stormtroopers.
That's a Stormtrooper
Oh yeah,
commander.
that's the original. I got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got.
but part of the thing I liked was that they keep saying Darth Vader's the bad guy. Darth Vader's the bad guy. We've had two major trailers, and then no Darth Vader, and then finally in this one, he's there, but he's just standing there. But then I realized that's all he needs to do.
Exactly. He's an icon, he's an icon. So
Yeah,
he doesn't really need to be featured or anything. 'Cause,
But though, I'm gonna say this. I would like to see him slay a couple more Jedi just to give it that real feel. Because I mean, he kind of got cheated in the last one because he ain't killed nobody but a bunch of kids. I killed them all.
Well, just to point out something, I am hoping to see him in action because in reality,
Yes.
in all three movies that he's been in, and I'm counting, episode 4, 5, and 6, he's had action scenes, but at the same time, not really action scenes.
Right.
You guys know what I mean?
You might call it.
Well, not to the level that it's become nowadays. Back when it came out, that was like the greatest thing ever. But they've pumped up the action scenes so much, especially with the G. That it's like, well, we need to see Vader, doing the same things that he was doing before, or should have been doing before, and like the other Jedi.
On Revenge of the Sith, I thought I was gonna see something, but all I saw was that's it. I was like,
Yeah, just
that's it. We're not gonna get, we're not gonna see him slaying something in that costume. Oh my god! But hopefully we'll get to see that now.
And it would add to the fact that the Star Wars lore is that Darth Vader helped to hunt down the Jedi.
yeah, that is
So
Yeah.
it would make perfect sense for there to be some Jedi in here. I don't care if they were no names. Give them some Jedi that we could give a name to, and then
Yeah.
Well, you do have that Asian guy. Remember, he fights like with the staff, and he talks about the Force.
Oh, it's Chirrut Imwe.
Yeah.
Chirrut Imwe.
I suck with names.
No, name, bro. I've been relaying the news about New York Comic Con, so I kind of got acquainted to the names because
Yeah.
I mean, it's base Malbus, then it's a Chirrut Imwe, the character played by the Asian guy, and this is the character played by Forrest Whitaker is Saw Gerrera. Yeah, we saw that guy in Clone Wars.
So this shows my age, man. Because I when I was a kid, I remember, and I still remember all the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And now we have all these new characters. It took me like almost 6 months to memorize the names of the rebels in the animated series.
Yeah.
So it's going to take me a while.
So we got them. I'm from Peru, and we got the names, and we used to say them in Spanish, So imagine my surprise when I was like, oh, they're pronounced differently in the United States. Oh, I guess it's not Wedge Antilles. And I always Wedge Antilles. Shh. You know, it was a whole new thing to learn the new names. The names the way they should be. But like the unknown rebels that were not on the movies, they were even worse because like the names were completely different. It was a chore.
And we got to, of course, bring up. I mean, this is where you're known in the field, but we do have to bring up a little bit on the toys.
Yes.
And oh my God, there was so much beautiful toys. I was blown away by it.
That's one of the main reasons why I go to these conventions. San Diego Comic Con, New York. I haven't been to New York Comic Con yet. But San Diego, it's a toys, man. It's a toy. It just blows my mind to go through the cases and the presentations the companies do. It's just beautiful.
I mean, well, first of all, the good news is for us, me and Hunter, we're huge toy fans of Masters of the Universe, and I'm so excited the toys are going to continue. Yeah, they're bringing back the all-star lineups, but I'm excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. There was uncertainty in the community because of they Super 7 is not known for making super articulated figures. They are known to make sofubis, vinyls, and those Super 7-ish, like retro action figures. So we didn't know how they would look, how much they would cost, and overall, like everybody was up in the air. Now we've seen that they're gonna be exactly the same as what we got. They're gonna be made by the same factory that Mattel. They're gonna be priced around the same. It all depends on how many fans buy them because they have to do their numbers. But for the most part, I mean, for 100%, it looks much brighter for Masters of the Universe fans now.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, me personally, I'm in. Yeah. And I'm a little sad because the other day I got the Stridor and the General Sunder,
Exactly.
and
right? If it's kind of sad to receive those, because this is the last. Oh my God.
They made a Stridor. They made it, and I asked certain individuals, and they know. Did they make the Strider? He's like, oh yeah, we made it. It has a cool shield and it has cool accessories and all that. And I'm like, oh, please bring it. Please get it out. And we're not getting the Roton Fighter either, which is disappointing. But hopefully the new company gets it out. But like the only thing I got to say, support the line. Support the line.
Support the line, because if you want to see those vehicles, the tooling of those vehicles is expensive. Even more expensive than freaking Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain is a behemoth. But regarding the vehicles, a company needs to be profitable and make numbers. And it's just like it was before when Masters of the Universe started. When did we got the first vehicle, the Wind Raider? It was like in years after, when they saw, it's profitable. We can risk capital on making these vehicles. So okay, let's go ahead and make one vehicle. Super 7 is riding on the same model, so they need to see good numbers of people buying the figures, so they can venture more, money into producing this vehicle. Vehicles are expensive I mean, they're already sculpted. They don't have to spend money on the sculpt on the prototype. However, manufacturing these things is expensive, so they need to see they have a safety net to invest in producing and manufacturing these vehicles. But for what I've seen on the fandom, on the community, they are 100% on board with this, and I hope that Tila, everybody's raving about Tila because everybody didn't have the opportunity to have that Tila,
And people don't realize you can get. I mean, they're going to release previous ones. I mean, people missed out on Fisto. Now you can get one at a reasonable price instead of paying, 3 figures.
Ram Man.
Yeah, Ram Man in the orange design. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly thrilled with it, but me neither. To support the line, I'll get it.
Exactly. I, as a customizer, I don't need any of them. As a collector, I don't need any of them. As a customizer, I do need them. I have every single figure of the collection, since the line started. But as a customizer, I need to refresh my stock.
I'm already thinking like what you can do with a He-Man buck, what you can do with a Tila buck.
That's my father, and that's what I'm running out. I bought 50 Tilas back in the day, the Battleground Tilas. I bought. I'm out of He-Man. I don't have any more He-Man bucks. So that, as a collector, I don't care. As a customizer, hell yeah.
Oh,
I'm
so again,
but
so here's another point, ladies and gentlemen. You're keeping him in business, supporting
Yes.
the line.
yes. Yeah, of course, definitely. And
Oh.
that Tila, man, that Tila, you know that as soon as she sells out, she's gonna probably lower in price, but it's gonna hold up her value. You know,
Yeah.
if you're one of
Plus,
those that like to invest in toys like the, like the stock exchange, yeah, I suggest invest in Tila. And if they make a Shadow Weaver, you will know you have to buy that one.
and I hope they change. Here's the thing, because I'm one of the few owners of a Shadow Weaver, and the
Yeah.
promise was they wouldn't replicate it. But I am not opposed to getting a different color tone. Different color, just a slight color tone
You
would
know what?
work a little better, and
The
that'd
problem,
be my compromise.
the promise of never being released was made by Mattel, not by Super 7. So they can pretty much do it if they wanted,
Yeah.
because they have the tooling, they have the tools, the factory. So I mean, as long as many people buy these figures and they, help the bottom line of the company, it helps get other new figures and those vehicles that everybody wants, especially that Snake Mountain. That Snake
Yeah.
Mountain, I heard it like manufacturing that Snake Mountain. I saw that thing.
Well, we
Wow.
had one of the designers on our show with us, and he's local, and I got to
Amato.
see it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Amato.
and it's beautiful. Snake Mountain it's absolutely beautiful. It's a stunning design, and it should be made. I mean, it would be a tragedy if it didn't. But again, that's up in the
They
air.
want to make it. They want to make it.
Yeah.
But the problem is that manufacturing that one is like manufacturing, say, 7 or 8 figures. For in that's the humongous price that this behemoth costs to make. So they need to see good numbers, good, on their books, so they can say, oh well, or kickstart it. They have to make probably a kickstart.
I'm okay with a Kickstarter,
Yeah.
and then we got to switch gears a little bit. Another toy line that got announced, and we're going to be talking about this in another part. Voltron toys are coming, which I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it's been
They
what?
need to be.
Yeah, it's been how many years? And they're bringing back Voltron on the new season, the new series. And again, we'll be talking about the show in a bit. But those toys look pretty amazing. And
It's been
Companies, right?
darn near 30. That's around 30 years.
yeah, it's been like 30 years. And before that, me and Sherman were talking. I don't know if you remember the old Voltron toys where they were just these big chunks of plastic and you pop them open, you get the action figure,
Yep.
and, they pop in. In Spanish, monitos, I just get the guys in there. And so they were not the best. And then I was looking at the new ones that are coming out, and wow, those designs just look absolutely stunning because they really got Voltron, the new design, the new animated design, CGI model and all that. And of course there's weapons and swords, and I'm just glad they're going full blown on Voltron again.
Yeah, we have Netflix to thank for that, and that makes me feel old as hell, because I used to those freaking monitos you talk about. In Peru, we didn't have we were living in a very difficult period, so imports were not allowed legally. You have to be like Han Solo and smuggle them to the border. So I swear to God, and only kind of rich kids, got the stuff from the USA. Us poor kids, we had either to buy them on the flea market, like knock off the monitos, or make our own, out of cardboard. So that's what I was stuck with. My cousin, he was very good with milk cardboard. He used to make like the
Hey,
plates.
hey, we grew up poor here too, and we ended up making a lot of our own.
Yeah,
That's what Play-Doh was for.
Cost like $1.99, $2.99. You know how much it cost back in the 80s in Peru? Like they were like $15 already.
Wow.
Wow. You had to save like a year for a freaking G.I. Joe. It was.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, again, a little more. I mean, I made stuff out of cardboard. I made Death Stars and all that. But the same thing, when you talk about pricing, this Stormtrooper, when I was a kid, was like $175.
Yeah.
Now it was $7.
Shoot, I saw it the other day for 11.
Yeah, those are the deluxe ones and all
At
that. And it's like,
Kohl's.
wow.
No, yeah, it was at Kohl's. It was like 11,
Wow.
11 something at Kohl's.
Wow.
And
No,
it's,
Kohl's is expensive. Those guys
yeah,
they're criminals. Yeah, no, they're criminals.
yeah.
I'm sorry if there is somebody working at Kohl's watching this. You're not gonna, your boss or whoever does the marketing or the pricing, whatever. Yeah, they're criminals.
Yeah, like somebody from Coles is going to watch and sue us.
Just in case.
It's okay. We could use the publicity,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
I know, right?
But you know,
And then we'll
jumping
turn around
on
and break out the
the
cold cash.
yeah, if it's worth anything. Um,
Yes, freedom of expression. Yeah.
Well, you know,
and,
It's crazy.
and later on in our show, you're going to see a Coles ad right here.
I know, right?
Watch it back on YouTube.
That would be like, why?
Well, YouTube picks up now. I mean, I got to say, YouTube picks up, discussions, and then it puts an ad on them now. So
Algorithms. It's all about algorithms right now. Our voices are being recorded.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Exactly.
quantified and qualified.
it's funny. I'm gonna go back and watch and just look to see if Kohl's ads start popping up. Kohl's.
Coles. We talk about Coles. No, but jumping on to one of the things that's been in discussion a lot, and I mentioned Comic Cons and all that because in a few weeks, Nerds on the Couch is going to be going to Alamo City Comic Con in San Antonio, and it's a huge convention, and we're expecting a lot of great people. And one of the big emphasis that they're having, and this was a big emphasis in New York Comic Con, was Marvel, and Marvel specifically in Netflix. And I gotta say, watching the Netflix shows and all this, I gotta point out Netflix is super awesome right now.
Yep.
I mean, how awesome is Marvel doing right now on the shows?
I got to think that Netflix is giving the movie theaters a definite run for their money when it comes to the Marvel brand, because they can put out so much more, and the way that they're able to do it nowadays, it's not all spandex, and so it's very real life. So they're able to keep a lot of it focused on current events, so to speak, and life as it happens, and just basically play it all into it. And so they've done a magnificent job, at least in my opinion, with their release of Daredevil, Daredevil 1, Daredevil 2, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage now, and upcoming Punisher and Iron Fist, and then the Defenders.
The thing is that Marvel understands their brand. That's the I think that's the biggest up they have. They understand their brand. They understand their characters, and they know exactly when to. Right now, Luke Cage is hot. He's everywhere, and it's a brother that is bulletproof. And right now in our society, that is hitting a nerve. Because it's. I mean, they know their stuff, and they just as their comics back in the '60s, and they knew when to release, things that are impaired with what's happening now on in our society. Back in the
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The whole X-Men thing, was a capitalization on
Malcolm X,
current events and how things were going in America at the time, where you've got Magneto basically built off of a Malcolm X prototype, and then Professor X, taking that Martin Luther King approach. And between that and then Luke Cage being a part of, or being born out of, the blaxploitation films at the time, it was very telling for the time.
And just to point out, you guys nailed it right on the head. When Luke Cage was first created, it was based on the black exploitation film genre, but it was also, again, the black exploitation was happening as a reaction to the racism that was going on at the time. And so part of it, to me, it seems really fitting that you have Luke Cage now on Netflix, uncensored, unfiltered, coming out at this point in time where the issue of racism and all that is being discussed. And man, that actor is a strong black man, and he rocks it, man. He rocks it on that show.
He broke a bed.
I mean, I don't think they could have found a better actor out there. I mean, this guy he just took it and he ran with it. He ran with it in Jessica Jones, and he continued that march. And the writers as well. You got to give them their credit. They wrote a great screenplay, and he turned around and he knocked it out the park.
Yeah, every time Marvel releases something, I am kind of like, I used to be like, will this hit on there? Will this be popular? Will this be cool? Guardians of the Galaxy, who knows that? Why would they make a movie out of that? When I went to see the movie, oh my God, Guardians of the Galaxy, oh my God. The same thing happened with Jessica Jones. Like, who is Jessica Jones? I saw a couple of episodes, and I'm like, whoa, they have Kilgrave there, And I was like, and subsequently with Luke Cage, Daredevil, Punisher, they know their brands. And I in no means I don't want to throw shade at DC, because I love DC. I have friends at DC Comics, and and the toy part too. But I gotta be honest, they're still catching up, and they're still understanding their characters and how to put them out in a way that can relate to every. I'm a DC fan too. I like all the movies they're putting out. They might not be as groundbreaking or as they're good entertainment, but they still have to find a way to hit a nerve and connect with the fan and make him enjoy the characters. That's what I think it's missing a bit on DC, that Marvel already has down.
Let me point out too that DC is not failing to me by any short. Gotham is a great show. I enjoyed. Well, I'm not a huge Green Arrow fan, but I know people who enjoy it. I enjoy the Flash. I enjoy. I'm looking forward to seeing Superman in Supergirl. But with the Netflix, they're not censored. They can go as far as they go, and you nailed it on the head when you talked about Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is almost as obscure a character
as Vixen.
Yeah. It's obscure.
I know more Vixen than bringing Jessica Jones, but now
Vixen was in the Justice League cartoon, so those of us who remember have some reference to her. But yeah, you're right, Jessica Jones, and again, as Luke Cage is a great character for the black community. Jessica Jones is a great feminist character. She is impervious. She is strong. She is an independent woman, and she doesn't take in any gruff. Again, we're censored. Doesn't take anything, and she stands up. And she is a victim of abuse. I mean, oh my God, we're going to meet again. Going to Alamo City, we're going to meet David Tennant in Alamo City. Oh my God, he was like the ultimate bad guy in that series. Yeah, he scared me.
Yeah, it's like I remember Kilgrave from the X-Men cartoon. Remember there was an episode in the 90s in the X-Men cartoon where they had Kilgrave, and I was like, oh, that's that purple guy, like that. They made Kilgrave a purple dude, scary as hell. Character development right there, and little faces, because he wasn't immediately shown. You got a shade, you got a shadow, then you got a hand, and you got his voice. Like slowly, pamper you down, and I was like, this is the bad guy. He can do anything with your mind. I'm like, actually, come to think of that's pretty messed up. So yeah, I want to get the hell away from that guy.
And I mean, it was a little bit graphic, but you knew how far this guy went. You knew he was sleeping around, or he made women do sexual favors for him. You knew he manipulated people.
I mean, he was a straight rapist.
Yeah, it is. And it's just his control over people, and how much he disregarded other people was just so offensive. Like, wow, this is like an evil guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was that. He absolutely took that role of taking power and having it absolutely corrupt him.
Yeah, because you use that thing for good, probably, right? Like Professor.
Yeah, I mean, with all the good that he could have done, I mean, you just saw somebody who just totally selfishly used his power and made it all about him without regard to anybody.
Yeah, and you see that Marvel has us having this type of conversations, like, philosophical conversations. You use this for good, you use this for bad. Like, that's why Marvel is where it is now. It's their understanding of the characters. And not to shade at DC, because this is doing good in the TV department too. the CW and all that. I think I have, yeah, I have some Supergirl stuff that they sent me that I have to check out. But yeah, DC is also. I wish they translate that understanding and of the characters to the big screen, because that way we will have a complete, the dream come true of every nerd, of every comic book fan.
Well, again,
on
let's talk about the DC movies for a minute.
I really enjoy them. I enjoy them.
Yeah, that's the thing we got to point out. People do watch them. They have made money. People do want to see them, but part of the thing happened is that there is such an anti-view. To me, I feel there's an anti-view of DC. Like when Suicide Squad came out, it got so horrible ratings, but yet anybody I talked to who has seen Suicide Squad, they've either said, it was all right, or they really loved it.
Yeah.
And I haven't met anybody who said, oh, I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I haven't met one person.
On my page, there was some. Because, I always, in my pages, I always encourage people to not think like sheep. If you're going to trash something, make sure you first see it before you trash it, And if you don't like it, okay, it's your prerogative to not like something. But at least, check it out. And then comment. If I like something, I'll tell it. I don't care if the entire media and the entire world says they don't like it. If I like it, I'll put it there. It's my opinion. I like both Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad, and I wrote written reviews in my Facebook pages and my blogs and stuff like that. By example, and this is probably, I didn't like The Force Awakens when the whole world was, oh my God, how you? And I put it there. I don't. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, why?" But it's my, and it's not a bad movie. It's just that they killed a character that I loved, and it was my, father figure since I was a kid, and they killed him. So yeah, why don't you kill Chewbacca? But Chewbacca, why don't you kill Han Solo? But and I always, encourage people to, don't follow. Just think by yourself, and I think it has flaws. Both movies, you could say, they have flaws, but come on, it's Superman going against Batman. I always want to see that thing, and I enjoy them. Why? It's these people are nitpicking, or I guess there's this bias against DC because they came second. I don't know, but
Well, speaking of DC, and I want to bring out we have one of our followers, Peter Parker Quinones, who's posting on our Facebook webpage, or posting on our Facebook site, Nerds on the Couch at Facebook. So, and basically Peter's point is that the DC they've been focusing on the TV shows, and to his credit, yeah, he's absolutely right. The regular primetime TV shows that DC has been working with, whether it be Gotham or whether it be the CW, those shows have been on point. Arrow, Gotham, Flash, especially, they've been doing some really good work on them.
Well, just to be fair, when people went to see Man of Steel, and to me that was the first one, and I want to point out, I hated Dark Knight Rises. I absolutely hated that film. I walked out on that film. I hated Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 sucked. Yeah, agreed.
I hate those. But Man of Steel, when I sat down and saw it, I knew that people were going to expect a traditional Superman. This was the 52 Superman. This was the new version. And I feel that they're heading somewhere with this. And when I saw Batman versus Superman, and I realized after watching the director's cut that it suffered from bad editing. The director's cut to me was a far superior film.
Exactly. The editing of the movie was an assault.
It was. They did a disservice to the director on that one. But to me, I feel that they're heading somewhere, that they're going somewhere. Now, I agree, there should have been a Batman movie before they did Batman versus Superman. But we were like, okay, well, too late. But then when I saw Suicide Squad, which I enjoyed thoroughly, I really enjoyed Suicide Squad. I realized, these guys are kind of doing the only route they can go by making certain movies a little lighter, a little more entertaining, because this is what the fans demanded. But if you pay attention, Batman versus Superman almost had the same plot as Civil War. And Suicide Squad almost had the same plot as Guardians of the Galaxy. Because in literature, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
And
Even some songs. I hear some songs from Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah. And part of it is that people say, well, why did people enjoy Civil War more? And I wasn't that crazy about it, but I know people liked it. And to me, it was an okay film.
Yeah.
It was because people understood the characters before they got to that point. And that's where DC kind of fell short. DC is rushing it. You said it. They are rushing it to catch up. And again, if they did a Batman movie first and then they did Batman versus Superman, I think people would have been happier. But again, just to jump on that thing, yeah, DC is rushing. But I got to say, Justice League looks pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully they have learned, and they are like, wait, they changed the whoever is held. It's Geoff Johns, I think is the name of the guy who
Yeah.
Who they
Geoff
changed out.
Johns,
The new
yeah,
boss.
the guy who's in charge now. So they're and the guy understands, his comic book character. So they're taking their time. They want to play catch up. Then do it if I were in Helmut, I was like, okay, whatever they're doing, we don't care. We're gonna do our stuff. Okay, we're gonna go slow, plan our characters. It's just you have to, like you said, it's people don't understand. They don't have any connection to these characters yet. The only thing they have is Man of Steel, and then this Batman with all the controversy with Ben Affleck and everything. I'm a Batman fan, so I relate to anybody wearing a freaking cape and cowl. So I was like, oh yeah, that's Batman. Yeah, that's Ben Affleck. Yeah.
But again, everybody agreed that he rocked it. He really did a good job with it.
I only found a few of I hate Batfleck. Well, okay, I guess I also hate, I don't know, freaking.
But again, I mean, Sherman, we've said this line before. People badmouth it, people bad. But again, another slogan of ours: you're going to be in line to see the movie.
Yes.
You know it. You know it.
There.
You know it. As much trash as everybody talks about it, if you're a nerd and this is what you're into, you're gonna go see the movie. You're gonna badmouth it first, but you're still gonna go see it.
I think it's because they still like, oh, those $14 that I spent, I'm gonna destroy them.
But I still have to point out, going to Marvel, Civil War kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
Kind of, yeah. Me too.
I kind of, to me, I felt like it shouldn't have reached to that point yet. But they're like, okay, so we got to that point, and we can talk about spoilers now because it's been a while. To me, Tony Stark became the little brat at the end.
Yeah.
And Captain America was like, fine, here's my shield. Catch it later. Which I guess is where it's going with the Defenders, because, the trailer for the Defenders came out, and we posted it on our Nerds page on Facebook. And, they're kind of hinting that because there's no Avengers, New York is in trouble. And the Sokovia Accords, and which to me was the most ridiculous thing in the Civil War movie, because of those, there's no Avengers, everything's broken.
Yeah, well,
up.
that's the darn UN's fault. UN screws everything up.
And because of that, they're like, okay, we need heroes. And here we got some pretty good heroes here coming up here. I want Jessica Jones and Luke Cage backing me up. Daredevil, which going to Daredevil a little bit. I feel bad for that guy because he gets his butt kicked. Yeah, no, I mean the character Daredevil, because as much as I love that series, and I really loved the first season when he was in the black suit with the mask covering, the ninja look. That fight in the hallway, I forgot which episode, but that fight in the hallway was so brutal and ugly. I mean, we're like, wow. And I kept thinking, wow, this guy kicks ass, but man, he's getting his ass kicked too, just as many. Oh
Yeah,
my
that was
god!
like Lord of the Rings, Two Towers type stuff, man. Just
Yeah.
gauntlet, going through hack and slash and smacking this guy to punch
Yeah.
this guy and kick this dude over here. That was that was on point. And Charlie Cox was another individual like Mike Coulter, man. They helped make those series what they were, and great to see.
Yeah,
And to point out, hopefully, Nerds will have an interview with Charlie Cox in a few weeks. We're trying to line that up, so hopefully there's interviews coming. But yeah, that guy's. I mean, Marvel does a great casting. Marvel knows casting.
yeah,
So even if like Iron, and Robert Downey Jr. is getting a little too old to be Tony Stark. Even if they're going to get somebody, I have faith that Marvel will pick the right actor for that role. And Charlie Cox is amazing. Same thing with the actor. I forgot his name, who plays the Punisher. Wow, at that second season,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to
Man
seeing
off the
that
Walking
Punisher.
Dead.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. The part of Daredevil that scared the hell out of me was that Kingpin when he like.
Oh, yeah.
And the door, like whoa, this ain't no 2003 Daredevil. Damn.
Well, once again, Vincent D'Onofrio, one, is a great actor. He is an amazing actor, and they picked the right guy. He is scary as Kingpin. And again, going to season 2, that short cameo that he had with him and the Punisher in prison, brutal.
John Bernthal.
Yeah, John Bernthal. And and he the Kingpin like practically looked at the camera and said, I'm going to be back for season 3.
Yeah.
The production, the design. I'm one of those that looks. I'm one of those who looks in the camera angles, because that's a language. All this stuff is a language. The production, the environment, the lighting, the setups, how the camera moves, how that just they know the production design very well, and that's what I know the setup of a scene. I know something's gonna happen because the camera is lit in some way. It's panning in a way. I love the language they speak on this series. It's very, very marvelous.
Yeah, and you know what? That even when you say that, it really makes me think about what Renee just brought up. That Daredevil scene where he's going through the hallway, and then Luke Cage's scene where he's walking through the hallway, and they both have similar hallway fight experiences. And just being able to really mess some guys up in that tiny space, but just doing an awesome job at it.
Exactly. It's the hallway scenes and action movies are at the craziest, because it's a, how they call it, it's an unimplied language where you see it's claustrophobic. You imagine yourself in the place of the character. You say, oh, I'm gonna get destroyed here, but somehow through the cameras and through the design, you see how this guy is going through, and you feel it. You feel that you're there with it. And it's a language that say, oh wow, after all, but he didn't came out unscathed out of that one. But wow,
I think, you're right. I think there's probably a name for it, but it comes from the movie The Fortress. That's where they picked that up from. And when we talk about the language and all that, it really triggers the next one that's on the Netflix that, to me, this one just blew my mind, the Stranger Things. And if you guys haven't seen Stranger Things, that one is mind-bending. Just, it blew my mind on how deep a series can go. I mean, it was 80s, and they made you feel like an 80s movie. And then they just played with your mind with sci-fi and horror.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a mind-blowing series.
Yeah, it got real creepy. It got real creepy at one point, and I was like, I wasn't expecting this, but this is, a really nice and pleasant surprise.
And it's always like, how dark can a series get? And that one shows you like, wow. I mean, that one was intensely scary. The kids were really, again, great casting with those kids. And the 80s feel of it. And, again, when you talk about language, if you haven't paid attention in the backgrounds, the kid has posters of The Thing, Prince of Darkness, all these 80 horror movies in there. And you see the love letter to that. And so that one is just mind-blowingly good.
I have to catch up on that one.
I agree.
Yeah, you really got to see that. I mean, that one was just mind-bogglingly amazing. And the
Well,
last one, Go ahead.
it's one of those ones that makes you really want to binge watch. I mean, you get
Yeah.
there and you sit down and you start watching. And you don't want to get up because you want to see what's getting ready to happen next. It's like, oh my God, did the kid die? Did he not die? What's going on? What's going on?
I got to tell you,
Does she have powers? Does
My-
she not have powers? What?
my wife and I binge watched that one for 2 days, and this is like a lot of episodes, but we had to watch it. We had to know how it was going to end. What exactly. It just really wraps you in. I mean, it's a Stephen King almost type S thing, but I highly recommend that one. And then our last one, that again at New York Comic Con they announced season 2, Voltron, which
Yeah.
I really love that series. If you haven't caught it, again, catch it on Netflix. It's exclusively on Netflix, and they really did honor to that '80s franchise.
I remember seeing a couple of episodes of that one. They happened. It was I barely remember the ones from the 80s, but this one they had to like connect with their lion and do all sorts of. It wasn't just a matter of just riding inside and connecting the thing. They have to like connect with their lion, and then they will.
You're right. It's more magical, in their approach to it, and it's a lot. It's the same, but a little bit different than the way it was in the 80s. And even from that, as me and Renee were talking earlier, it's even different from the way the Japanese first presented it. So it's got a lot of different nuances to it,
Well,
but it's a good show, though.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is that I love their blend of technology with magic, and
Yeah.
that's where Voltron comes from. And they made it clear, saying there's magic, and then there's technology, and it's kind of like dabbling into a little bit of Thor mythology and all this. And they really developed a background to what Voltron is. There's spirits of lions. There is advanced technology. There is an ancient, again, still follows the idea. There's the ancient threat with Lothar and Prince Lodor and the witch Helga and all that, the invading armies. They kind of alluded to the vehicle ones a little bit. They kind of hinted at it. So like maybe down the road. And then people kind of ask, hey, why is that guy in the black armor there? People forget that in the first season, they had a guy named Sven who was part of the Voltron team, and he fought the witch like in the 3rd episode or the 4th episode. He got hurt. They pulled him out, and the princess is going to become a pilot, because people get used to that. And it still bothers me a little bit that the princess looks like Zelda. And,
Yeah. I thought
And
it
the
was,
right hand man looks like was it a little?
yeah, it looks like from the Littles.
I was like, what? They click on the wrong episode. I think I'm watching Zelda. Oh no, there's lions. There's Voltron.
Yeah. But I do like the alien worlds. I do like, that they're exploring. There's a whole lot of ground they're getting into. And the trailer for season 2 kind of hints that maybe, the leader is going to get out or he's going to die. And, same thing, Keith is going to have to step in, like how we're used to. So it looks like the lineup's going to have to change a little bit. And again, more adventure, more fun, because the season left it at a cliffhanger. I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't watched it, but they left the season at a cliffhanger. And I was just watching it like this. I really hope they continue. Because I hate when seasons end at a cliffhanger and then they're never coming back.
Oh, yeah. Well, that used to happen in the Cartoon Network era. Thank God Netflix is different. Hopefully, we can get several shows that were in, like, going back to He-Man. Remember He-Man, the 2000X series?
Yeah.
I love that show. Oh my God! And Cartoon Network was like, oh no, you know what? No more of that. We don't need that. They cut that one. They cut GI Joe. I think they also cut GI Joe.
G.I. Joe was the Hasbro one, and that one, to be honest with you, wasn't that great. And then one that was great, I want to bring up, since, the Thundercats. Remember the Cartoon Network, the Thundercats?
Lord. Yeah, that's the worst. Yeah, that's what the worst that they did was that. Yeah, my God.
It was a good show.
It was a good show.
It was a really good show, and I was upset too because I was in Iraq watching it, and I only got like maybe 3 or 4 episodes out of it, and I was so irritated.
One made me cry because my grandmother had just passed, and one of those episodes made me cry. Like I was the one with the leaves, the
Yeah,
little
the flower. I was gonna say the flower
leaves.
people.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God, that episode was whoa! I can't see it. Oh,
And the thing was the final episode was that Pomara betrayed the Thundercats, and it turns out she was in league with Mumbra, and the Mumbra got a sword. Things were going to turn ugly,
and
and
then
then
that happened.
it looked like they were going to go Empire Strikes Back on us, and then nothing. We don't know anything. It died.
That's why I can bring myself to watch it because I know many people were upset, and I was like, no, I don't want to be upset. I had enough with 2000X He-Man when they were supposed to be She-Ra, Hordak, and everything. They was like, no, man, we're not doing that anymore.
But here's the thing, though. When we say that, I am kind of glad the series and 2000X ended.
Why?
Because it gave us something better. We got the classics. We got the comic books. We have, to me, and again, the Thundercats He-Man comic book crossover, awesome. Everybody should check it out. To me, it's better, and I don't think we would have had it if the line continued.
It would have point, probably, yeah.
I think I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, so we probably have a point there, but we need a new live action show.
I'm hoping Netflix picks up and someday, some Comic-Con, they're like, oh, Netflix is going to produce Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, but that's in Mattel's hands. I don't know how they handle their media counterpart because the license part, the toys are now with Super 7. So I don't know how that is going to be handled in the future, like anything related, media related. I don't know how where in the deal is that. But
here's the thing people don't understand. He-Man is under Classic Media. The company Classic Media has He-Man. Unfortunately, She-Ra is owned by DreamWorks, and they hold the license for it. This is the issue where people talk about licensing and all that.
Right.
And so, they brought them together because Mattel was able to bring them together, and the new company said, oh, we can't do She-Ra stuff for a while. They can do the toys, but we already have all the toys. They can do different things with it, but hopefully, again, deals will get worked out. That's the thing I absolutely, and he's right. He's saying things are being worked. It's not bad news. It's just saying we're working the deals out. And the He-Man movie, honestly, I lost faith in it. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but there's rewrites, and I don't really know about that one either. But let's keep faith. That's what the only thing that fans have in regards of a new movie.
I have faith in a cartoon series, but movies are a little tougher. Because I have friends in the film industry, and they explain things to me, and the deal is and some people, they call it development hell, where they try to get something.
Yes,
they try to get something made, and some directors will spend like 20 or 30 years to do a movie. That's actually pretty common.
Cameron, Avatar.
Yeah.
That guy.
And oh my God, there's supposed to be like 9 Avatar movies.
Avatars. Does anybody care about Avatar anymore?
James Cameron said, I want to do 9 Avatar movies. And we're all like, can you at least do 2? Do part 2? I mean,
who's gonna care? Oh my God! Still, there's gonna be a ride. They're making a ride in Disney. I think it's here in Florida. They're making a ride of Avatar. I'm like, wow, really? Like the toys were horrible. I remember the toys, man. A movie because of the toys, and those toys were made by Mattel, and they were like clogging the Walmarts in my area. Like, when are they gonna clearance this stuff out? Because I need space for like freaking, I don't know, Legends or something. And my Walmart doesn't put anything new until the old stuff has sold out. That's how.
And the last waves ended up at the Family Dollar. I remember they had like the most obscure characters. They had the Sigourney Weaver one in there and all that, and they were like at the dollar store. So
Yeah, no, I still have a Jake something over here, and I got the guy with the scratch head. Yeah, I'm using it for photos somewhere else.
Say, we don't even know their names. All right. I got to thank you guys for being here. It was an awesome show.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It was my
yeah.
pleasure.
Again, where can people find you, Hunter?
Oh, my website, 109online.com. You can find me on Facebook, on my YouTube channel, 194, on Instagram, and anywhere you type in 109 Customs, that's it will take you to all my pages.
All right. And again, Sherman, I know I was trying to ask you like what conventions we're going to be at and all that, but do you have any shows or any cosplays coming up?
Well, we've got the MegaCon coming up, and that's right now. That's going to be the big one for me, and I'll bust out the Aquaman again, the Jason Momoa style Aquaman.
Well, let me. I was about to remind you again, and I got to point out, he has the most awesome movie Aquaman costume I've seen. Share it on the Nerds page, man. Post it on the Nerds page. That, I mean, I loved it, and I keep wanting to be Ben Affleck Batman and hang out with you at a con.
Well, you know, funny that you say that. You know, I'm part of a group called Costumers with a Cause, and one of the things we did recently was we went down to Tampa General Hospital and we visited some of the kids right before Tampa Bay Comic-Con came up, and it was, you know, that week of Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and we went out there, and one of the guys was dressed up in his full Batman garb, man, and it was awesome. We had a little banter back and forth, and you know, all the kids recognizes is Batman. Batman is the man, you know.
They will recognize.
Batman got all the props, and then they look at me, and then look right back at Batman and talk to Batman. But we had some friendly banter going on, and he even busted out, "Hey, I heard you can talk to fish."
Oh, I gotta see that cosplay, man. I wish I could. Yeah, but Tampa is like 3 hours, 4 hours from where I am. That's it's just a drive. It's
yeah.
Well, it's 5 days away from me. So.
Oh, I drove, brother. I drove from Florida to Comic Con to San Diego once, and I went by El Paso. It took me 5 days, but yeah, I feel that drive. But El Paso to here, yeah, we'll be around that time, 3 days.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever by El Paso, man, we'll hang out.
Oh, right. Awesome.
We, again, Nerds on the Couch will officially be at Alamo City Comic Con. It's the last weekend of 28th, 27th, and 29, one of that last weekend. We're going to give you live footage. We're going to do Facebook Live. Hopefully get to meet Charlie Cox. Hopefully get to meet some of the people from Stranger Things. And I'm crossing my fingers for David Tennant. I'm crossing my fingers. So hopefully, again, we can talk to them and all that. We'll be up on our Facebook page. Be sure to check out our Facebook. nerdsonthecouch.net, our regular website for the latest info, blogs, information. And again, catch our Facebook page. So until then, catch you guys later.
All righty.